Thank you very much. And I would just say, Ms. Giannetti, that fascinating comment. The reason why it affects now, not in the future, is capital investment in an industry. If an industry knows it's being shut down, the intensive capital investment that is needed will not be put in place. I come from a state of Iowa. I also happen to be the vice chair of the Conservative Climate Caucus. Iowa has over 50% of its energy from renewables, to include biofuels, biomass, compressed renewable natural gas, manure, you name it. We have over wind and solar, and did have nuclear until that plant was shut 4 years ago. 60% of our electricity is from wind, and we're a net exporter of energy. We can both have a cleaner, healthier planet and climate, as well as grow our economy and have affordable, reliable, secure, and abundant energy. The greatest sense of environmental injustice to me is not allowing poor people or disadvantaged communities to be able to heat their homes because we make electricity unaffordable. In fact, more than 5 million people die every year due to exposure to excessively hot or cold temperatures. This is globally. Heat death is responsible for 1% of global fatalities, around 600,000, but cold kills eight times as many people, 4.5 million annually. A 2019 study from the National Bureau of Economic Research estimates that driving down natural gas prices, the fracking revolution, saved more than 11,000 American deaths in the winter per year. Per year, 11,000 deaths were saved from 2005 to 2011. During that time, the U.S. was, and still is, a leader in reducing greenhouse gas emissions, all while increasing energy production and keeping prices low. Since 2005, the U.S. has reduced net greenhouse gas emissions by 17%, all while primary energy production in this country increased by 48%. And the use of natural gas played an irreplaceable role in this fact. Globally, according to the Energy Information Agency, primary energy consumption is expected to increase through 2050, and in all the COPs I attended, which have been 3, every single COP has said energy demand is increasing, not decreasing. So through 2050, somewhere between 16 and 57%, and global demand for natural gas will increase by 41% in 2050. In fact, I was in Vietnam just last week, and they were talking about the Biden administration's policy on LNG is hurting them because they had an energy crisis last year. Further, a study from the National Energy Technology Laboratory found in 2019 that U.S. LNG often produced fewer greenhouse gas emissions than other types of coal or gas used around the world, which means that U.S. LNG exports could actually be beneficial for climate change if the U.S. replaced those of other fossil fuels. And I've had this conversation with Special Presidential Envoy on Climate, John Kerry. We're not studying the greenhouse gas emissions or the life cycle carbon analysis of other types of renewable energy, such as wind or solar. With all of us think that it should be done, and I'm sure those children in the Congo having to dig out rare earth minerals out of the earth in the Congo think that it would be environmental justice for them to not have to do that to create solar panels and wind turbines. So, Mr. McCowan or Mr. Rice, if the U.S. limits our LNG exports, will that result in lowering the use of LNG globally, or will it only result in more LNG exports from our adversaries, like Russia, China, or other countries that have dirtier oil and natural gas?
It will result in the usage of LNG from dirtier fuel sources, and if you look at the IEA or any other forecast, natural gas usage is going to climb out through 2050, not decrease. So it will do nothing.
I agree. The energy demand is going to grow. And to put this in perspective, because we're talking about how big and how much LNG does the world need, we've heard a couple Congress people talk about this today. If you care about lowering global emissions and replacing foreign coal, the biggest source of emissions, it would require 170 BCF a day of incremental natural gas, LNG. If you care about eliminating energy poverty, which you cited, and replacing the 120 BCF a day of biomass that is used as a primary energy source, that's another 120 BCF a day. The world needs 300 BCF a day more natural gas, and both of those things would be decarbonizing because it would be lower emissions than coal, and replacing biomass is also going to have a decarbonizing impact as well. Massive opportunity.
Thank you for that. And I'm agnostic of the energy source. I think we should be talking about lowering emissions and how we do that and have create a better environment rather than talking about the energy source that we want to eliminate. And what, for any of the panel, what benefits do U.S. LNG exports provide to our allies and those who are supportive of us?
Sure. I would say one thing. I think energy security is the natural answer, and you can look at what happened in Europe as a great example of how American LNG provides that energy security. But the other lesson that we learned in 2022 is that without energy security, you cannot transition. So if you care about climate and making progress on that front, energy security is the foundation of making that happen, and American energy is the foundation of that security.
Mr. Corbier?
It's making a difference. Our people are stronger. Our people have a future. And by expanding LNG and making this industry as strong as it can be, America, Louisiana, Texas, and all states in between benefit.
Thank you so much. My time's expired. I apologize, Mr. McGowan. Thank you for indulging me, Mr. Chair.